This is the E-Commerce Braintrust, a podcast about building momentum online for established consumer brands. Join our hosts and their expert guests for high-level conversations about e-commerce strategies, trends, and innovations. Access our Braintrust and boost your brand's e-commerce potential.
Welcome to the E-Commerce Braintrust. I'm Julie Spear alongside my co-host Jordan Ripley. Today, we're a couple months into 2025. We're closing in on the very end of February at the time of this recording, and that means it's time for another of our retail roundup episodes. This is where we have Ross and Armin from the operations and the media side, opposite order there, here at Acadia, come and join us for a discussion about the biggest changes and news of the past month in the world of retail media and marketplaces. So very excited to welcome you both back. Armin and Ross, you guys ready to dig in today?
For sure.
Yeah.
Thanks, Julie.
Thanks for having us.
Excellent. Well, let's kick it off. Last month, Amazon, or actually this month, Amazon made an announcement that it's going to start directing customers to brand sites when products aren't available on Amazon. According to their press release, the move is driven by assortment gaps and aligns brand sites using Buy with Prime, but it's not relegated to just brands using Buy with Prime. There's been a lot of speculation about Amazon's deeper motives here. And so, Armin and Ross, I'm curious about your thoughts on the pros and cons for Amazon and brands and customers. What does this all mean with this shift?
Yeah, I was actually super excited when this news came out, as it really is a big change. I'd say Amazon is leaving its comfort zone here. In their standard terms of service, for example, sellers are not allowed to direct customers off Amazon, and now Amazon wants to do it themselves. I think that on paper, this is a brilliant idea for all parties involved, but at the same time, it can fail so easily as it depends on how shoppers will react and adopt this. For Amazon, this fits into their flywheel model and their desire to be the everything store. There will always be products that don't fit the Amazon model well, so this is a great opportunity to tap into that pool of products. There are also many brands that are still resisting Amazon as a marketplace, and this move could change how these brands think about their presence on the platform. Overall, I think this will be a great learning opportunity for Amazon as well. They'll gain even more information around shopper behavior, but also brand behavior. Brands can email Amazon to become part of this beta, and to me, that means Amazon will be evaluating how they want to work with brands who applied, providing them with an entry to a contact on the brand side to talk about things like Buy with Prime, for example, or AWD. So Amazon can kind of upsell their own solutions here. And if traffic goes well for a brand, Amazon may even have arguments to invite the brand to sell directly on the platform, whether it's through Seller Central or Vendor Central, maybe enticing them with some premium support as they onboard and so on. In terms of cons for Amazon, not a lot comes to mind. I feel the top of search will become a bit crowded, as it isn't crowded already. And I'd say there's some risk of customers associating poor customer experience on brands' website with Amazon, because when you leave the app, it's just a different experience. So for brands, I think this is also an amazing opportunity. If they're not on Amazon, this is a great way to measure the potential of the platform. And for those already selling, this could be an opportunity to do some catalog selection assessment. So in case some of the brand's products don't work well with Seller Central or Vendor Central model, it's worth testing this new program and directing traffic to their website for those specific products. Another thing that comes to mind, and I'm not sure Amazon will allow that, but for brands already selling on the platform, and if for some reason their products become unavailable, so let's say out of stock, they get suppressed, have some compliance issues, etc., this could be a plan B and a way to keep the revenue flow even when those products have temporary issues with unavailability. The con on the brand side, I think it's TBD. Amazon will probably make sure brands see benefits from the program and will monetize this eventually. And I do expect some form of cost for brands to participate in the program in the long run. As for the customers, I think they'll just continue being happy about everything as they are. I think this change will instill even more confidence that anything can be found on Amazon, and an increased selection is always a great thing from a shopper perspective. However, the update may cause some friction in terms of navigating brand websites compared to a well-known user experience customers get within the Amazon app.
Yeah, I think that point about the saturation of sponsored product placements and how this might lead to some overcrowding. I'm interested. I'm sure you have a number of hot takes, Ross. That'll be your new nickname, Hot Take Ross. But speaking to that one in particular, how do you receive this update?
Well, I mean, that was my first thought is like, oh, yep, this is the road to another monetizable ad revenue stream because you're opening up offsite search. Invariably, eventually, there's going to be a way to pay for placements on those offsite search components. To me, that's like, I totally hear you, Armin, about expanding the options for brands to maybe make their way onto Amazon, or maybe Amazon trying to court brands to come on Amazon that haven't. I don't think that's the play here. I think the play here is all about ad revenue, and it's really in line with the non-endemic play that, and we're not calling it that anymore. It's Amazon DSP for like non-Amazon products. The concept being, if you're an insurance company or a bank, you can use the ad platform. You can use all of Amazon's ad data. They have a fantastic full stack ad platform with great audience data to target your potential customers and drive them to your website. It's the same concept here. Like, I see this opening the door to Amazon even being more like Google, and for you to start seeing ads, banks in search results, ads for insurance companies in search results alongside products, because I think they're going to be willing to pay because there's so many people searching on Amazon. And right now, that's just an untouched revenue stream of potential advertisers.
I feel like there's some conflict at the center of this rollout, which is like Amazon is a lot of things, right? They're a retailer, they're an advertising platform, they're a marketplace, they're also a comparison shopping engine. And this, I think, is they move a little more towards comparison shopping engine. I can think of times where I've searched for things on Google Shopping because there are D2C sites that might have that at a better price than Amazon occasionally, right? And I want to understand the full variety of options. And this brings Amazon closer to that Google Shopping. The actual ad load that they can put on the platform, like, does this increase the supply side? They only have so many searches and so much real estate that they can cram ads around. It increases the demand side, like more brands could potentially purchase that and drive up CPCs. I don't think that that's particularly compelling for Amazon. We know they want to move upper funnel from an ad perspective. But I do think that the increase of assortment and the move to a comparison shopping engine makes them a more desirable platform so that if all searches begin on Amazon, as you said, every brand will start meaningfully putting ads there, whether or not they actually have product placement there.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah. All right. Shall we move on to the next update?
Let's do it.
All right. Another interesting update of very recent, even in just the past week to 10 days at the time that we're recording this, and it got a little overshadowed by Amazon themselves, is Ulta Beauty's move to integrate its in-store inventory with brand D2C sites using the Omnichannel platform Lucky. So this is not quite like traditional store locators. This actually syncs Ulta's inventory feeds with the brand website. So if a customer is on the brand site, they can see where they can buy it at a local Ulta. How do you see this shift potentially changing how we advise brands on connecting D2C with retail? Do you see other retailers following suit? Is Chewy next here, Ross? You had a hot take on Target last time I think we talked.
Yeah.
Who's next?
I think the impetus for this here is there's probably a hypothesis, and it's likely been proven out by some kind of beta testing so far, that there's a higher conversion rate if someone sees that it's available at their local Ulta. Mm-hmm. Or, and I've noticed this in the beauty category a lot, especially for premium beauty brands, is like they have a big business on Sephora and Ulta and whatnot because people can go into the store and talk with someone and get a lot of product benefits and product details. So if you're having problems with conversion rate on your site and you know that someone at Ulta is going to be able to help sell through your product better, I think that is the core reason why this is on the table. I'm going to be able to get someone's initial awareness on my site, but if I really want to close them meaningfully, there's probably some data pointing to integration with Ulta as the way forward. So I think it's a natural thing to test and just to see, like, does this increase the conversion rate on my site? Maybe not on my site, but does this increase my business overall? Because I don't really care probably where the customer is purchasing as long as I'm selling more product.
And the product category, I think, here is important too. It's like beauty, D2C sites, I think, have a lot of cachet still. And the in-store, as you said, is an important part of the shopping experience. If you take this to like a pet food category, do those two things still hold up?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Do you need to consult for the next dog toy? Perhaps.
Yeah, maybe. So yeah, I feel like there are other categories at this place where I don't know this is going to be a universal update. That's my hunch here.
Yeah, I don't know if in the electronics category, you're going to see a lot of brands saying like, go to Best Buy because maybe the margin is worse. But the other perspective here, and Armin, I think you would be aligned with me on this, is like if a D2C site has problems shipping inventory at a rate that's comparable to a retailer, like they don't have 1 day shipping available, then this starts to look, oh yeah, that's a great plus up for our business if you can just get the product to our customer faster and improve the experience.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
It's the whole buy with Prime selling proposition, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
It's buy with Prime, but
in a store.
Go to the store.
yeah.
So we're getting the human connection here too.
But they're shipping. They're offering to have same day pickup or shipping.
Yes.
Yeah.
The D2C site doesn't. I think that's the bigger value than directing people to go to the store necessarily. Depends on where you are in the funnel, right?
Well, one thing that we did last time we did the retail roundup that we have not done for these first two topics is the hype meter. So I'm going to take us back just a moment. The Amazon advertising products that are not yet selling on Amazon, on the hype meter, where would you guys rank that from meh to hell yeah, this is a big development?
To me, it's a hell yeah.
Okay.
Hype of an 11.
Yeah, I'm at like a 7 right now because I think we're probably in the very, 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 not even the opening innings of what this is actually going to look like. I think Amazon has just signaled that they're testing in this direction. So not 100% sure how committed they are to it yet either.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm like a 6, 7. I don't think it's meh at all, but I'm not like, oh yeah, this is going to be game changer.
Just right in the line there. I hear it.
Has potential. Believe it when you see it.
You're not a promoter.
I'm not a promoter, no.
So how about this Ulta news? Meh or hype? Way high hype.
I think for certain brands, it's going to be very, very valuable. So yeah, for especially smaller brands, this is like, oh, great, perfect. I've already done the hard work of getting into Ulta, and now my customers have a better experience, and maybe I increase my conversion rate. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I put this at a 9 because it wins for across the board. It wins for the brand. It wins for the retailer. It wins for the customer. Ease of access to product for customer. That's good for brand all around, and it benefits Ulta. So I see this as a 9. We'll see how it plays out, and then I could roll it up to a 10.
But don't backtrack now. It's hell yeah, or it's not.
It's hell yeah.
It's hell yeah.
Let's move into the larger theme that it seems to be informing basically every product release in the industry right now. The idea of AI really coming into its own as something that improves workflow or improves the process and improves the way that we interface with the platform. We see a lot of developments around this that we'll touch on today. The first one that I'd like to get to is a development that we've seen, again, mostly, I think, on LinkedIn and in screenshots, less so in the wild, but I think we'll get there, is the idea of Rufus now containing ads in its search results. We saw a couple like sponsored brand type, kind of a blend between sponsored brand, sponsored display showing up within Rufus.
I'm just planting my flag in the sand. I'm pretty sure that was a post.
Okay.
There's been a lot of internal debate, but I'm pretty sure it was a boosted post that we saw.
Okay. Which is kind of like a sponsor.
It's a sponsored brand.
Yeah.
The only functional way that it could get there is as a post.
Yeah. It was a sponsored asset.
You need to be more precise in your language, Jordan.
We'll play some bets on it. But Ross, I'm curious, as the media guy, where do you see this in terms of like our inevitable progression of the monetization of Rufus? Where are we in this in terms of Amazon opening up ad inventory, and where do you see this going?
Yeah, I think we're in still the pregame here as well. It's not even the opening innings of what this looks like. They have said very clearly that there are going to be sponsored placements in Rufus. We're just starting to see them trickle out now as they beta test what gets the most engagement. What they have done very recently is they used to have in the ad console, there used to be a placement modifiers, like a placements performance section. Now they're just calling it bid modifiers. They're already telegraphing that there's going to be lots of different ways to modify your bidding based on placements that go beyond search. So now we have the business, we have off-site, off-Amazon placement modifiers, we have the AMC modifiers, and I'm sure there's going to be like some kind of Rufus modifier in the future too.
Yeah. The interesting thing to me on this was like, I feel like so much of lower funnel advertising is dependent on how native does the ad look. Sponsored products are successful because they look really native within the platform. You go back 15 years and you could barely distinguish a Google search ad from a regular search result. And I think that's why Google's ad business exploded, is it didn't feel that weird to the customer. That I was like, oh, okay, here's another option. I'll click on that. Rufus, just looking at the screenshots, I don't know that it's crossing that bar yet. It's like I'm having a conversation with a chatbot I'm getting like all these good results. And it's like, would you also consider this cool metal art brand? And it's just like, what? I feel like there's a big chasm to overcome here on like how native these become. It's early days, as you said.
Yeah, I think, definitely early innings. But I saw recently in the news, I forget who it was. I think it was Apple. Don't quote me. But I think they said like, yeah, there's definitely no value being generated by it. Eventually, the AI here, I think, is probably not going to be the value, but the placement will be the value. Because customers are starting to use Rufus a little bit. We don't really have a signal about how much yet. And we might have to wait a year before Amazon releases any data on what that looks like.
Makes sense.
Let's move back to more operational updates. So these are got a question coming to you now, Armin. Amazon recently announced 2 kind of under the radar updates relative to catalog management. One, focus on using AI to filling in missing product attributes, and another allowing AI to map any spreadsheet format into Amazon's required structure for new listings, which read another way, is it the death to the flat file? These can seem like wins, better product details for shoppers and less manual work for brands. Is there more to these updates that you're seeing as they play out?
Yeah, I think that the update around Amazon now allowing the bulk creation of listings using a template with brand's own format ties to what we just discussed also about the Amazon sending customers to brand direct sites. One of the goals is to try to entice the Amazon resistant brands to join the platform and make their transition to listing on Amazon much easier. The first step for Amazon, make sure brands see the benefits of getting traffic from Amazon. And then step 2 is Amazon saying, hey, it's even better if you're on the platform. So brands start joining. The update is, of course, relevant to all other brands as well, especially those carrying large catalogs where setting listings up using Amazon's format can be a huge project on its own. As for the AI-generated product attribute enrichment, it's been a wild ride so far. We are seeing some extreme cases where the suggestions are completely off or contradicting each other. For example, 2 color variations of the same product. One has a suggestion to put hand wash only, and the other got dishwasher safe. Based on the feedback from the team so far, about half of the suggestions have been good and accepted. And for the rest, it's either some of these edge cases where it's completely off, or we provide a better alternative. In a nutshell, I'd say AI is doing a good job, given it's just starting. And over time, we should really see benefits from this in terms of the ease and speed of making catalog updates. Right now, we are in this cleanup phase where AI is trying to make sense of all the right and wrong contributions, and everything in between brands and their resellers have added to listings backend over the course of last few decades, I'd say. As it is now, this is requiring more time and more energy, so no time savings. But in the long run, it is a great change, especially for large catalog brands and brands that have resellers and different contributors. I'd also say that this update correlates with what we discussed in the last podcast around title character limitation and the AI revision, with the ultimate goal of having cleaner product information on Amazon PDPs, as well as enabling Rufus to have all the right information when chatting with Amazon shoppers. The thing is, AI can't deal with conflicting information from different parts of the PDP and the backend, so Amazon is pushing for one source of truth. And to Ross's point, this is why Rufus is not ready to have ads when it's not understanding the content on the pages yet, or the content is not clean.
Yeah, they need brands to clean it up, because to the point of that, the hand wash only or dishwasher safe, that was actually the brand inconsistency between the back end said hand wash only, but on the PDP it said front or top shelf in the dishwasher. So that's Amazon does need the brands to clean up to allow Rufus to do his job. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, this update is highly, highly manual in its implication for brands. So it's a very time consuming one, especially if you have a larger catalog.
I see this universe where it's like there's an AI solution to clean up your account so that the AI can read it better.
Yeah.
My question was like, when will AI solve for me? Which is like, I'll put everything in the dishwasher knowing that if 20% of my things melt, like that's the price I'll pay. On the last update here, we had Performance Plus roll out at Unboxed, and the sort of AI foundation to the way that DSP optimizes. That was the promise of Performance Plus. We now have Brand Plus, which is a sort of extension of this. It seems like following the footsteps of just slapping a plus on everything to make it kind of sexy and new. Ross, I know we were one of the initial beta testers for Performance Plus. Can you bring us up to speed on like the arc of Performance Plus to brand, what Brand Plus is? What are all these pluses doing on my screen?
Yeah. I think, again, at first, Performance Plus was meant for non-Amazon brands. Like it was a tool that was built to make it easy for non-Amazon brands to say like, yep, I got this great ad product that's really put in my product detail page and the AI takes over. It picks the audiences, it picks the placements, and it just makes it simple and lowers the barrier to entry for Amazon. Now it's available for Amazon brands. And what I hear from a lot of Amazon reps, they're recommending like, yeah, you can use Performance Plus to achieve some of these long-term goals, and it's a great new solution and yada, yada, yada. Our findings from the experiments are that like, yeah, it definitely was able to get better ROAS, but it did that by doing a lot of current customer retargeting. So like our new to brand rates were very, very low on those Brand Plus campaigns. So if you're like myopically focused on ROAS, then Brand Plus is for you. If you're more interested in like smarter brand building, our recommendation was like, all right, let's be careful about using Performance Plus because it has that limitation. Brand Plus is meant to be now the like upper funnel version of that. At the bottom of the funnel, you maximize for ROAS. At Brand Plus is meant to be like, okay, let's work on generating demand. Let's work on finding good new customers, maximizing our reach, having a really good frequency, pulling people into the funnel more on the new to brand side, especially as it pertains to more premium inventory like streaming TV and online video. That's like the bifurcation of those two pluses. I appreciate they separated the tool.
Yeah.
And even separated the name. I guarantee you in 2 years, there'll just be one tool and you can pick your goal. But for now, it's better to brand it as separate goals, separate products that brands can pick up and learn.
I think, Ross, in 2 years, it will be Performance Ultra and Brand Ultra, like just the brand.
Yeah. You're the Miami Vice theme.
Is it a hell yeah or a meh on the hype scale? Hype meter.
Right now, I'm not a meh, but I'm like, say like I'm a 3 out of 10 right now.
Okay.
Because again, it's like it's opening innings. It's just getting released more broadly. And I am not a fan of just maximizing ROAS by retargeting my current customers. That's not the position of what we think is successful at Acadia. For that purpose, I'm a bit meh. Like, no, I'd rather have more control.
So you might not be interested in the Ultra. So we'll see. Remains to be seen. So we'll see what rolls out next month, if there's some Ultra versions of any of these updates. And,
let's hope so.
Yeah, I appreciate you both coming on to share your insights and your hot takes and all that comes with the beauty of the space that we're in. So thanks for the conversation today. And we'll check back next month to see what comes out and keeps us on our toes.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everyone.